As you walk around Hyde Park, the suburban feel can make it easy to forget you're still in the city of Boston. And if you step into a restaurant there named Antonio's Bacaro, you might just think you've landed in Italy. Antonio's Bacaro opened about a year ago with the simple goal of bringing a Venetian-style Bacaro to Hyde Park.
The whole idea about this place was to get as real Italian as we possibly can. I didn't want to just have another Italian-American place.
And so we really do offer the traditional dishes that are served if you were to go to Venice and you're sitting down there in the cafe. They're simple dishes. There's not a lot to them, and they're so good. And I think that's the key.
So before husband and wife owners Joe and Sonia Garuffi opened Antonio's, they did their research by hiring Chef Anthony Haley and bringing him on an eating extravaganza through northern Italy.
He was like, "We're going to Italy, come with me." And I was like, "All right, I'm in." So we went to Italy. We literally ate our way through it. He just wanted me to experiment and get a taste of the food and the cuisine. And he wanted me to just take what I learned there and put my spin on it and bring it back here.
And the types of recipes they brought back can't be summed up in one word.
Simplicity. I mean, everything here is very simple. Over there, everything I had was 3, 4, 5 ingredients. So here I try to do the same thing. 90% of my menu we make from scratch. The other 10%, if I can get it imported here from Italy, we do. And I just like to push it out and be creative without steering too far away from the original idea.
Since the food at Antonio's Bacaro is inspired by northern Italy, the recipes are a bit different than your typical red sauce favorites.
Northern Italian has got more of a European influence, so there's a lot less tomatoes and olive oil. They use more butter, cream sauces, cheese, smoked, cured meats. It was a lot different.
So starters include a bountiful salumi plate loaded with imported meats and cheeses, and crispy prosciutto stuffed with melted mozzarella.
Stuffed prosciutto is probably our most popular dish. It's fresh mozzarella. We wrap around it some prosciutto, and then we crisp it up real nice so the cheese is all gooey in the inside and the prosciutto's nice and crispy. Top it with some house-made balsamic vinaigrette, some basil oil. I mean, people love it.
For something fried, the calamari is a good choice, but the oversized arancini is even better.
They're traditionally stuffed with ground beef and peas. I wanted to make my own little twist, so we added lamb. We added some more herbs in there, so there's like a light, fresh mint and rosemary, and we stuff it with some mozzarella, so when you open it up, it's really oozy. I mean, it's so good.
Pastas here are pretty much perfect, whether you go for something simple like the pomodoro or something a bit more decadent like the spaghetti carbonara.
We get big blocks of pecorino romano cheese, and then we crisp up some pancetta, really, really crispy. And then we just toss in a lot of butter, pecorino romano cheese, some egg yolk, and then fresh ground pepper, and that's it.
For a pasta dish you'll rarely see outside of Venice, order the Bigoli anchovy with caramelized onions. It's a sweet and salty combination so delicious that it will turn anyone into an anchovy aficionado.
I'm not a huge anchovy person, and I love this dish. He takes the anchovies and he reduces it and then adds the caramelized onions to it, and people take a bite of that and they're like, "Oh my gosh, that's so good." I'm like, I know, it's so good.
Another dish that always gets rave reviews is the tagliatelle ragu, Italian comfort food at its finest.
Slow-cooked beef, veal, and pancetta on a tomato sauce. We cook it on the stovetop for about 3.5 hours, get it really, really tender, and all that flavor will come out with some red wine and with the fresh pasta, and we finish it with some freshly ground nutmeg. It's really aromatic, and it just gets you ready to kind of dig in.
Entrees at Antonio's can be light, like the pan-seared espresso rubbed salmon, or hearty, like the slow-cooked veal ossobuco.
We braise it for about 3 hours with some figs and tomato. So the figs give it like a sweetness, but it's also like an earthiness to it, so it's kind of like contrasting flavors, but it all comes together really well.
For dessert, the cannoli trio is a sweet way to end your meal, but before you pay the bill, take a minute to check out your surroundings, because not only is Joe the restaurant's owner, he's also a restaurant designer, and he built Antonio's Bacaro with comfortable red leather booths, marble tabletops, and an inviting bar to create an atmosphere that encourages customers to linger.
When you go over to Italy, when they get together, they're getting together. They're relaxing and they're enjoying their food. And that's what I want people to do here. Like, you know, take a step back, relax, enjoy your friends, your family, and that itself rewards us.